Hello and welcome back everybody to the Mineski Pro Gaming League season number 6, the Southeast Asian qualifier of it. It's gonna be Gse7en versus Titan in a best of 2 series. This is already gonna be game number 2 as well as Titan. They just completely outclassed Gse7en in the first game. My name is Coucher and I am joined by Whiplash.
What's up everybody? Coucher, how am I sounding, man? Good, bad, terrible, better than last time?
I think it should be fine, at least from what I can tell now.
Okay, then we'll just roll with it for this game. Yeah, man, just Titan. They put on a clinic on how to defeat Gse7en. It feels like Titan gave Gse7en pretty much the lineup they wanted, and I guess besides the Meepo, but it didn't even matter. It just, they completely outplayed them in every lane and every corner. It just felt like there wasn't much that Gse7en could have done. They will pick up the Razors, their first pick, a hero that was actually completely ignored, I want to say, throughout game number 1, but already being picked up as the number 1 spot for Gse7en in game number 2. I'm curious to see how Titan will react, but based on what I saw in game 1, where I felt like Gse7en had the superior draft, that probably won't be a big concern for Titan. If they play heroes that they are comfortable with or heroes that they like, then it most likely will be an easy win for them.
Yeah, and this time around, if they want to, they could pick up the Faceless Void for themselves. Skyrift Mage is also available as Gse7en went for Razor instead, banning out actually a Centaur Warrunner and Earthshaker. So the possibilities are rather endless. Doombringer also available. Titan, in the past at least, they have just ran that hero so often.
Yeah, that's right, the Doom is available, and I think the Doom would be the hero to pick up here. I would be totally down with that pick. And if they go with him, yeah, there's still the Skywrath. They have Tidehunter if they want to go that route. A lot of different options, even Shadow Shaman and the Sand King, heroes that we would see potentially net play. So really just, a lot of options open for Titan. And I mean, Razor, he's kind of a hero, I feel that he's good against a lot of heroes. He's generally just like an anti-carry. And overall, just pretty darn solid pick. So I guess they're going to worry more about what they want to pick rather than countering the Razor. Ancient Apparition is the first hero to get picked up by Titan, and he can pair quite nicely with a lot of different heroes, whether it be like the Weaver or the Faceless Void. A lot of potential synergy going on with this guy. Even Wraith King, like Titan played last game, he can work well with. So once again, a lot of options still available in the Titan lineup.
Yeah, there definitely is, and I was also thinking about the Weaver. We did both actually, I think, see a game where Ancient Apparition Weaver +1 tri-lane, I think it was an Earthshaker actually.
Yes,
the aggressive tri-lane just completely wrecked face. The Geminate attack is so strong with that Ancient Apparition Chilling Touch. Otherwise, it lowers your attack speed, but on Geminate attack it really doesn't work, at least for that secondary attack. So it's still all good for him. And we will see Titan. They're actually taking a long time to just figure out their secondary pick here.
Yeah, they definitely are. They are wondering. Okay, there we go. Yeah, they used up a lot of their reserve time to pick up the hero, but it will be a Venomancer. It could be a core Venomancer. We have seen him being played more in like kind of a farming role over the past few months or so. He used to be almost exclusively support. It's really kind of changing his roles around a little bit more often than not. Now, Gse7en, the Doom is still available for them. I almost feel like Titan don't really care what Gse7en get. If they picked up an Apparition or Venomancers, their first 2 picks, when there's other very strong heroes available in the pool, then that's confidence right there if I've seen it.
Yeah, definitely is, although Venomancer has been sometimes used as a mid lane counter to the Razor. Because Razor usually just uses the static link to dominate his matchups, but Venomancer, he can use the Plague Wards to farm up as well as harass Razor back at the same time. So that is one thing that Titan may be aiming at, maybe even just somehow having the Venomancer solo up against Razor, or even if it's not up against the Razor, if Venomancer is in a solo matchup, he wins most of them because the Poison Sting, the Plague Wards, Venomous Scale, all of those spells are just so hard to go up against, especially if you should be a melee hero. And in solo matchups, at least on the off lanes, the side lanes, it is usually against melee heroes like Tidehunter, Centaur Warrunner, Faceless Void, something like that.
Yeah, that's true. He is just one of those heroes that simply wins lanes. Another hero that's really good at that is Skywrath Mage. He'll generally make sure that you win a lane in most cases. Viper, another good example, a hero that does have a lot of poison to him. And Gse7en, they grab the Shadow Shaman, smartly ban out the Doom. It's been a while since Doom was banned out in the second ban phase, but he is still banned out. Very surprising that neither team decided to pick him up. But now we'll look into Titan and get a kind of a look as to what heroes they want to ban out of the pool. Tidehunter could be banned out. Maybe some heroes that are good against the Venomancer or Apparition could be removed from the pool as well. Once again, lots of options available, but Titan will go into that reserve time and really think quite a lot about what heroes they want to pick and ban.
Yeah, it's just, you can already see from the first two picks of them that they're going for something way different than they had in first game, and maybe they themselves just want to experiment here at this phase. I mean, they do have 1-2-0 victory already, although they didn't even have to play for it. It was a 4-fight by Awake, unfortunately for us. But at the moment, taking out the Faceless Void, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if a Viper got banned out here as well.
Yep, Viper being banned out wouldn't be surprising. I feel like Ancient Apparition's one of those heroes that works especially well against the Void, so I guess Titan just don't want to deal with the threat of the Chronosphere rather than, you know, worry a little. I guess they have the tools to deal with the Chrono if they want, but they just want to throw that out altogether. Gse7en, they say no to Batrider. He performed pretty darn well from Titan last game, and I guess they just don't want that in their face once more. So removing a little bit of initiation power from Titan, and that is something they definitely lack at this stage in the game. Gse7en, if they get a Blink Dagger on the Shadow Shaman, he could definitely do a little bit of initiating himself. Razor, tanky frontliner, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Titan, they, as we saw from game number 1, they can pretty much deal with anything, and the Batrider, they just use it so damn well. So Gse7en, smart ban in some sense, of course, maybe a little bit of respect as well, because not too many teams run the Batrider nowadays. As Titan, take out the jungler, the Enchantress. Don't want to give Gse7en some additional early game for themselves, because of course it depends on what Titan is going to go for now, but they may want to be the ones to just completely take control, dominate the early game. So if your enemy doesn't have too much of it, if they have to get farm before they get active, then that's when Titan can strike.
Yeah, I am looking at the Weaver as being a potential good pickup here or there. Rubik, though, looks like he is the second support, and indeed this is a core Venomancer. Like you said, Couchshore Venomancer good against the Razor mid, so that is a matchup that is very possible here if they don't want to run the Venomancer in one of the other lanes. Titan, I still am expecting them. I feel like a Weaver is almost an obvious pickup for them at this point. When you combine him with the Rubik and the Apparition, that will make a very deadly offensive tri-lane. They may go with the Wraith King once again as well, another hero that could fit in very nicely with their lineup. It is looking pretty darn solid from Titan so far. Gse7en, they have some good teamfight potential already with the heroes they got, and that kind of seems to be how they like the draft their heroes. They focus on 5-manning and having really strong teamfight presence, so anything to really complement the Shadow Shaman and Razor in these big clashes is most likely the next hero we will see from Gse7en.
Yeah, it's very well possible, and oh, they go for the Sand King, so getting some additional just lockdown for themselves, some initiation power, and Sand King Shadow Shaman is a pretty damn common support duo as well. Of course, Sand King will be the 4th position, and also, can you lower your mic a tad?
Sure.
But Titan now will actually go for Nature's Prophet, so they might be going for the VG kind of style, just try to end the game by 40 minutes in or something, just crazy push. Venomancer, Plague Wards, Nature's Prophet with the Treants, of course, TPing from lane to lane, setting up kills like that. Although at the moment, they might be running themselves into a wall if this doesn't work out with the first 15, 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. I turned down my microphone. Hopefully it's a little bit better. You can keep poking me if it's not up to the snuff. But yeah, I have to agree with you. Nature's Prophet, another hero. I'm looking at Titan's lineup and I see a lot of heroes that are very fragile. They can be strong in the earlier stages of the game, but it is a somewhat double-edged sword. And Gse7en, they grab the Mirana. They actually have a ridiculous amount of lockdown at this point in the game. If they land a good arrow, they have the Shadow Shaman or Sand King follow-up, and they could really do it in any combination, but they have an insane amount of lockdown on any of these heroes, and if you put that static link from Razor on any of them, I mean, they're pretty much out of order.
Yeah, it's gonna be so hard if Titan, like any one of those gets caught. Mirana maybe just shoots a scouting arrow, for example. The plasma field from Razor to follow up is already a really good amount of damage. And with the Mirana, they can even use Moonlight Shadows to just, for example, initiate into the pushes of Titan. And to be honest, I really like Gse7en's lineup. It's so well rounded. It's also a very, very stable lineup and something you could see from any team globally, really.
Yeah, that's definitely true, but Gse7en had a very solid and stable lineup in game number 1, and it looked like Titan had the worst draft, and it was definitely one that if it didn't really work out too well early on, they wouldn't go anywhere with it. And they showed us that it doesn't matter, but now they're picking up the big guns with the Spectre as the final pick for Titan. And with that, they bring a solid amount of late game presence, a very tanky frontliner, in addition to hard carry, so I do like the pickup. We'll be able to make short work of these supports and even the Mirana if he gets like a Radiance early on or something. So Titan, they got a lot of pressure they can put in the earlier stages, and they also have some late game to back it up.
Yeah, it's to be honest, the global presence I think is the biggest aspect that they have at the moment. Nature's Prophet TPing in globally, Spectre using the Haunt to just get in close. So Titan, it is a little bit risky with the lineup, but Gse7en going for a Darkseer, and the Darkseer Sanking combination is also something I myself haven't seen for a long time, but the potential of that just vacuuming into Burrow Strike epicenters, it is sick.
Yeah, it definitely is. Darkseer is a hero. I wish he was used more at the International as well. I saw Universe use it a lot over the past few months, and I really started to fall in love with the hero because he was popular, then he kind of got nerfed time over time. Vacuum increased by 2 seconds every freaking patch, and then we don't see the hero a lot. So I'm happy that the Darkseer is picked up. He will, of course, go to the offlane. But with that being said, shall we introduce these teams, Couchor?
Of course we shall, and I shall leave the honors of picking the team to you.
Okay, well, I have to say I do love the Titan boys, so I'll go ahead and introduce them. Well, we have NWP, aka Yamate, on the Venomancer. Moving over to the support Rubik, I believe X once again is playing that same hero, and then helping him out, or I suppose the other way around, will be KYXY on that Spectre. The second support for Titan, it's a Net on the Apparition. And then finally, last but not least, Ohio, he's handling that Prophet offlane.
And for Gse7en, for the Myanmar guys, Kenji will be playing the Darkseer on the offlane, of course. Might be in somewhat of trouble, gets slowed down as well, has to skill the Surge if he actually probably wants to get away. More supports are coming, but Leo is there as well, so Kenji actually managed to save the skill point. Oh man.
Okay, they get a lift onto Razor. He's stolen the 49 damage up though, but 1 or 2 more hits, it will be first blood. Close. He had to use his salve though, and look at X, he may actually get it. There it is, the first blood. Right as the horn sounds. I don't think that this Razor was expecting to be chased that far through, but with the Rubik picking up the boots of speed at these early stages, it did a lot for a first blood. He's already up to level 2 on the support, and he'll most likely pick up this double damage rune as well. Kenji is already in trouble, and the game has just started.
Yeah, I just absolutely love the idea of having at least one support have those boosts of speed. It makes ganking so much easier as well, of course. You rotate much faster across the map. And I think it became popular a couple of months ago. Before it was like support, just all out support items, but now we'll get this items. Kenji, no Surge on him extinct, with the double damage, we'll just put some hurt on the Darkseer straight away.
Now this means KYXI will have quite the easy lane, just with this nice early advantage and start. It makes me wonder, he's kind of heading to the secret shop, may actually just straight up go to the jungle, start doing a little bit of creep stacking, and yeah, that seems to be the direction that Kenji is going.
Yeah, he just can't do much anything, because the Chilling Touch with some right clicks, with the Telekinesis is a little bit too much. Once he gets level 2, has the Surge, he can possibly just go back to the lane, but before that, mean, they already gave away first blood. They really don't want to just fall even further behind, like 1-2 minutes into the game.
That's true. Giving any type of farm to a Spectre in the early stages, it's just a recipe for disaster. This hero can really make use of that early gold and level experience advantage. So for now, he will have to start killing creeps under his own tower, but not the big steal for Spectre that has a lot of tank ability with the dispersion, and of course picked up a stats shield in the early stages. Looking over at the other safe lane, it will be this Mirana, just getting a lot of easy safe farming. I suppose that Ohio will get a little bit of experience from the creep camp, the hard one that Gse7en's pulling some creeps to. So at least he has a little bit of that, and as well as the Darkseer, the Nature's Prophet, can go into his jungle if he's having a really hard time in this off lane.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about such off lanes like Darkseers, Nature's Prophets. You can go to the jungle, just like you mentioned at the moment of Extinct. He came in aggressive with some illusion runes. Unfortunately, the Darkseer wasn't here yet, so they will just put some pressure on the tower. Kenji has made it there though. Spectral Dagger is the bit telekinesis. Yes, there is. Chilling Touch as well. Can you actually get out of this? The Surge already on cooldown. It will come off in 1 second time, but the right clicks are enough. Extinct finishes the kill with the Fate Bolt.
Very well played by Titan. The Spectre low on health, but still able to survive. They need to be concerned though about this Razor and Shadow Shaman. And nearby they do have a ward, so they know exactly what's going on. But the trick will be kind of running past this Darkseer who's back. Actually down to half health. They may actually kill him if they're not careful. Yeah, the Darkseer, he falls once more, and they're just out of range of that plasma field. Titan putting on the moves.
Yeah, that was so smart by KYXY as well. He was actually at the Ancients, but then just Spectral Daggered through the trees onto the Darkseer, and just some additional damage coming out always helps. And 3-0, 3 minutes in, just looking absolutely wonderful. And Ohio, he's level 4 as well on the offlane, so I mean he can't complain either. And I mean Gse7en, they cannot just continue at this pace, but nobody's stacking up the Ancients for them. Darkseer is not the Ancients, just creeps as well normally. Kenji is farming up the jungle, so Sanking probably won't have the fast blink dagger either. So what's like their comeback method if they just keep on falling behind? At the moment, it's not a disaster yet, but if this continues, it might easily become one.
It looks like it could be just a repeat of game number 1, where they have a lot of heroes with excellent ultimates, excellent team fight ability, but Titan just kind of, you know, dissects them, takes them apart, and doesn't really give them many chances to try to pull off those kind of combinations. I mean, I remember earlier, Cutcher, you were saying that, I didn't even see a Chronosphere this game, just because the ability to really use those abilities wasn't given to Gse7en by Titan.
Yeah, they're just playing so well. They're in a class of their own as far as Southeast Asian scene is concerned. And of course Gse7en, they've yet to make a huge name for themselves. They have some pretty solid plays. I casted them in the beginning of June as well in the Ghost Cup Asia. They actually almost took down Arrow. It went to like 60 minutes in almost. It was a really close game. So they definitely have some potential, but Titan... Well, but Ohio might get caught actually collide. No, the Sprout!
Oh, what a clutch play. That was cool. I think a lesser Nature's Prophet would have definitely died to that ability. That was so cool. He sprouted himself and just ate through the tangle. It bought him enough time to get out of the range of that Shadow Shaman before the shackle could go off. If that shackle came onto the Nature's Prophet, I'm pretty sure it would have been a kill.
I mean, some people might think that it's such a small thing to do, but to me, it was like the highlight of the game at the moment. Just, he did it so fast as well and seamlessly, and Kenji, well, he's Ohio now, who creates some treants, but this tier 1 tower, I mean, if it's not gonna fall, I'll be surprised.
It's looking like it. The creeps are being pulled slightly away, but no, the tower, it's already down to about 200 health with 4 heroes hacking away on it. With the siege creep, it will indeed fall, so a nice early tower goes to Titan, but at the same time, NWP actually ends up dying in the mid lane. Looks like there was a rotation from the Sand King and Shadow Shaman to help out Leo at the mid, so you know, a little bit of a, I guess, a bonus for Gse7en. They finally get a kill on the board, but still they did lose their tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they're gonna stack up a little bit now as well. I would have thought that Linger maybe is actually gonna go to 2 points into Sandstorm rather than the Burrow Strike, just to get that faster jungling, because level 1 Sandstorm just isn't enough to farm up jungle. It's not worth wasting your time and mana for it. But I mean, at least he's level 3, got something out of it. And one thing we haven't really talked about, that even if the Sand King doesn't have the Blink Dagger, getting close might not be as big of an issue for him as usual, because Darkseer, he can in theory at least surge him up, so there might be a just speedy Sand King running at you for the Burrow Strike.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point you bring up. There are still a few stacks of creeps that are being stacked up in Gse7en's jungle, so maybe he's not too concerned about going in there until he has a few higher levels and there's more stacks up.
Oh, top
in order to
lane,
make something
Moonlight
happen.
Shadows, they go in onto Ohio, Starstorm is there as well. Can he actually back himself out the Sprout? Oh no, Sand King is there. Leap, if you right clicks and Ohio goes down. So Gse7en showing some signs of life.
And meanwhile, mid lane, Gse7en, it looks like they wanted to get a gank on NWP or somebody at mid, but he was just a little bit too far out of the range. The ultimate from the bottom will go down, and X actually rotating around these three heroes, so he just puts up a ward for the time being. A very aggressive ward, so he wants to have a lot of vision on Gse7en. And who will they actually go after? That's the question. Razor getting a little bit aggressive. They're actually going to go onto the Shadow Shaman. Ohio pops in. Rubik, he starts the initiation, even a little bit of extra haunt damage from the Spectre to help out.
Yeah, and Ohio actually just made Leo use his last tango as well, sprouted him up, although nobody actually was about to come in anyway. Extinct's telekinesis was on cooldown, and one thing I just absolutely adore about Titan, what they're doing now, is they just left Net in the mid lane, soaking up XP, and now he has that level 6 pre-8 minutes, which is pretty good timing for a support Ancient Apparition. Has Yearn of Shadows also finished, which is an item that shows the Titan they just want to take the fight to Gse7en. But what do you actually think of KYXY going for a Midas?
Oh, hold on a second. Mid lane, they're going to get the Apparition out onto Razor. He's really close, and I think he may actually shatter. It's going to be damn close. One or two more clicks and he would have died, but he will just barely survive that engagement. And it looks like bottom lane, the action will continue. They're going to move after Spectre, but he's able to use that Spectral Dagger, get clear pathing, and we'll just kind of run through those trees.
Yeah, really nicely done by KYXY there, but coming back to the point, what do you actually think of him going for the Hand of Midas? Is it a bit too greedy considering that their lineup wants to fight, or is just getting higher levels early on, having higher points into Desolate gonna be enough? Oh, top lane Ohio, one more right click, no Mirana! That one TP from Extinct was enough to just make show back off.
Well, coming back to your point, there's a lot of action going back and forth, but I mean, looking at Spectre, 50 last hits, 3 assists, just under 9 minutes into the game. I think it's okay to go ahead and grab that up. He's gotten a lot of farm, already finished up a Magic Wand as well, so the Spectre has been finding a good amount of farm. The extra levels as well means, you know, getting maxed out. Oh, Nature's Prophet actually gets a kill on Mirana, though, from the look of things at the top lane. I don't know, man. I feel like I have to keep my eyes on the screen at all times. There's just too much going on.
Just pure Wrath of Nature damage. They need to, oh, they're gonna go for a collide. Can they get the Sprout? Ohio actually blocks himself a little bit with the 3 ends. Either shot got stolen by Extinct, who takes up a lot of tank tower damage. Now X makes us away.
Okay, but there will be the Spectre coming in with the Haunt ability. Lift up, bring him down, and well, Shadow Shaman does indeed fall. Leo coming in as well to help out, using that ultimate. NWP low on health. Can he haste himself out of there? Looks like he'll be A-okay. Had to use the Magic Wand as well to help out. Now Mirana in a lot of trouble. She'll most likely shatter. That does look to be the case as she falls. Meanwhile, Net trying to escape with the NWP. They're both low on health. While this Razor, full health with his ultimate still up. I think it's time for them to hightail it out of here. So at the end of the day, the Rubik falls as well as the Aegis Prophet. 7-4 is still in Titan's favor, but Gse7en did get a few kills here and there.
Yeah, and I'm not actually too sure if this tier 1 tower bottom, oh, never mind, it's still up. I was like, what? Didn't see it on me for a second. I'm blind, I'm a blind! But Kenji actually runs into Ohio, just searches himself away. The Sprout is there, the wall comes out, but Darkseer is out of mana. No vacuum anyway. Can more heroes come there? What got stolen? Oh, it is the wall. The Ice Blast, Kenji is spot on, and Yamate will just come grab the kill.
Titan, they seem to be in the right places at the right times. Just everybody kind of, they came in and assisted where they were needed when it came to that gank onto the Darkseer. And the Darkseer himself was pretty far into no man's land. He was past the tier 1 tower, while all of the tier 1 towers remain for Titan, so it's pretty darn easy for someone to simply come in and easily rotate to where he is. Rubik also importantly stole Wall of Replica which means if they want to have a team fight in a near phase, it could certainly be very useful. Mid lane, though, looks to be the next potential target. We'll see the Wrath of Nature bounce around, do a little bit of extra damage, and Ohio looks to be in trouble. Darkseer's back. He wants to go for round 2. He does have the Surge available, but I'm not sure if it will be enough damage to really finish him off. Gets hit with the Frostbite, but not the bulk of the damage from Ice Blast.
Oh! The Sprout into Cold Feet will get the kill on Kenji, man. He was... You could feel him just wanting to get the revenge, and now Show gets slowed down by Yamate. He pops his ultimate as well. It is level 2, will be enough to get the kill as Yamate. He escapes from the tower. Tower goes down, as does Mirana. And man, Gse7en, I think this Darkseer play, yes, it could have paid off greatly for them, but just too greedy and giving, I feel, from this point, a little bit too much to Titan now.
And I really like how Yamate is using this Venomancer as well. He was like right on the tower, right against the Mirana, and knew just how much damage he could take before backing off. Yeah, 10-4, 12 minutes into the match. It looks like we have 2 tier 1 towers down. The final one is that one in the top lane, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ohio starting to push for that. He is moving into getting a Maelstrom, which will definitely help out his push potential. Apparition Ice Blast heading to the top lane will connect on both the Mirana and the Razor. So that is just a little bit of annoying damage to deal with, but not a huge amount overall.
Yeah, and I mean, did Titan see the Moonlight Shadow getting popped somewhere, or just excellent Spidey senses? They must have seen it, right? Because every single lane backed off at the same time.
It could be. We will see. There are a lot of wards from Titan just placed around the map, so it wouldn't be too surprising. We'll have a leap forward from the Mirana. She does get an arrow onto this Rubik. And is it enough? We'll have Apparition Ice Blast comes out. It's going to hit on a lot of them. KYX are coming in, joining the fight as well. But a lot of damage is being stolen from him by this Razor. Now out comes the Epicenter, but who's it hitting? Absolutely nobody. They do finally take down the Spectre. Leo with the double kill. This could actually turn into a triple. He's stolen so much damage. NWP going down. Ohio falling. And then it's a rampage for Leo. They take down everybody on Titan. Gse7en. They're heating up. They're right back on track. It's all about the Razor, man. He just stole the damage. They got the kills they needed, and everybody else, you look at the lineup, nobody really has a lot of tank ability beyond the Spectre. They just fell down one by one.
Yeah, I mean, the Spectre doesn't actually have any health items for himself, just has the Stout Shield to help tank him up. Of course, has the Dispersion as well, but I mean, 870 HP, it's definitely not much, and man, 13-minute Rampage, how often do you see it happen? I mean, overall, Rampages, they just don't happen at all, almost like 1 every 100 games at best. 13 minutes. He was about 500 gold away from his mech before. Now he has his mech finished, plus another 1.3k gold. And Razor suddenly number 2 in net worth as well. Oh wow. Gse7en, I think this was exactly what was needed for them. I do believe they're still a little bit behind, but just feeling so happy about their momentum that they just got.
Ooh, net. He is right next to Leo. The damage will be stolen, using the ultimate as well, chasing him down. Net already down to half health. It looks like he's not surviving this one. The Dagger will come out to slow him down, but still, Leo picks himself another kill. It looks like he is building into that Yasha, so could build either into that Manta, but probably Sange and Yasha would be the more obvious first choice from him. Meanwhile, Titan, they are pushing the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. They have to force out the fortification from Gse7en, and they're looking to just kind of get a trade on the mid tower, putting down those Serpent Wards. They have Leo as well as Sand King backing them up. KYXY, he can't really accomplish too much, down to 327 health. I actually think he just needs to go home.
They're gonna go and show the Moonlight Shadow is not enough, and even the Darkseer falls. Oh man, that was just Rubik baiting things out. First he went for a Plasma Field, stolen by the Razor of course. Then got the Telekinesis under the tower onto the Mirana, stole the Starstorm as well on top of that. And Wrath of Nature bounced around at the same exact time. So those 2 kills were just too easy for Titan somehow even. One support Rubik just set it all up perfectly.
Well, we will have Nature's Prophet as well as this Rubik pushing the tier 1 tower at the top lane. I'm not sure if Gse7en can even save this tower. There is a TP coming in from the Razor, and if there's one hero that's not afraid to get into the thick of things, it is him. He'll get lifted up by X, but it still looks like he will most likely end up dying. Blink Dagger is completed by Rubik, but he needs to find the time to use it, and he won't. Leo simply just right-clicks him. The Death will have a leap forward from the Mirana. The arrow misses onto the Prophet. He will try to escape, but no, the Plasma Field gets him. Leo is godlike, going for more. This is turning into an absolute disaster for Titan. They're just, you know, they're splitting up all across the map. They still have gotten some towers here and there. But oh man, this Razor's getting out of control. They have to do something about him.
They most certainly do. And mid lane KYXY can you actually escape? Blinger still doesn't have his Blink Dagger. Almost 70 minutes in. He's only 100 gold away though. Needs to get it fast as well. And Kenji will not helping out, getting those last creeps as well. But the tower goes down. That should be his Blink Dagger. Ice Blast top lane, gonna hit them too. Nobody's gonna follow up, I think.
Nah, no follow-up. Well, hold on. Maybe there will actually be a follow-up. Spectre goes to the top lane, attacking the Shadow Shaman that was able to TP away just barely, but now they're going to move out onto Leo. They released the ultimate from Vanomancer. The mech used up. They're able to get X. Can they finish him off? It's so close. What happened there? It looks like it was canceled, but I don't know what could have canceled that TP. Regardless, he's down still, though. It's a 3-for-1 trade. They do get that bonus gold from the kill streak on this Razor removed, but still. Yowzers, 3-for-1. It's 15-15. We need to look at these graphs, man. It's actually dead even on experience, and the gold way into Titan's favor still, around 6,000. So despite Gse7en getting an insane amount of kills on the Razor, it does seem like Titan have a bit of an edge.
Yeah, they of course have two End of Midases running on them for quite some time now. One on KYXY and another on Yamate. Especially Yamate, man, getting that gold now as well. 1.3k for him. He bought something as well, I think. Is there something in the stash? Yeah, going for a Aghanim Scepter now. And oh, top lane! Or bottom rather, Call Life. They actually get themselves the Mass Serpent Ward as well now, so that was a huge win, man. Shadow Shaman, if you're gonna die anyway and you have no way of actually getting a counter kill because no other heroes are close by, dropping those wards, maybe a little bit too eager or just panic mode.
Yeah, it's a panic mode thing, I feel. There is something I've been wanting to talk about, but just like too much action's happening across the board. But I want to come back to this Hand of Midas on the Spectre. You said you weren't sure about it, and I think that big fight where Razor ended up winning, I'm wondering if this Spectre had like drums or that Vanguard a lot earlier, if it would have been a different engagement, and maybe Gse7en wouldn't have gotten as many kills if he didn't go for that Hand of Midas. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I'm pretty sure it might have gone another way around, because that attack speed aspect really, this early on for his Spectre when he had level 1 in Desolate only as it is, it definitely didn't give him too much. I don't think he had too many levels at that point as well. So I have to agree that drums or just that earlier Vanguard would have accomplished more. The outcome still might have been the same for all we know, but I do believe it would have been a little bit better. But oh, Blink
WP? Oh, he's caught in between a tree and a hard place. Actually though, the Ancient Apparition is going to come out and hit 3-4 members, shatters the Shadow Shaman instantly. We'll also see Ohio, nice tree block from him, keeping everybody away for the time being, buying a little bit of time, enough for him to teleport away. And KYXY running away as well. There's simply no one nearby to follow up on. But still, this Apparition, man, he knows how to play this hero. Anytime there's a big team fight, he is getting a guarantee 2 to 3 people caught in that Ice Blast. And top lane now, they're going to have a jump and onto the Mirana. Can she leap away in time? Just barely. There will also be 2 TPs coming in from the Razor as well as the Sand King. Blink forward, and oh, just barely missing that Burrow Strike. But they still may be able to get Ohio. They're just simply faster than this hero. He's out of mana, though still somehow able to get a turnaround kill onto the Sand King. So ends up at the end of the day, the arrow connecting on the Leo. Still, there's simply no follow-up. Mid lane, looks like there's going to be a War Trap onto NWP, and he manages to actually escape though. But yeah, he's actually A-okay. It looks like he may have died to the wards, but the invisibility rune kept him alive. And they also get the kill, of course, on the Shadow Shaman.
Well, nice try by Gse7en at least, trying to make something happen, but Vanomancer, I mean, not the tankiest of heroes at the moment, only has the point booster as far as health items go. But one thing about their gold lead, which now, well, rose again a little bit up to 7.5k, but about 4k if you summarize it. It's Hand of Midas's. They have 3 Blink Daggers as well, which yes are good for initiation and everything, but if the fight has already broken out, nobody can actually blink away because you're taking damage. In theory at least, it's around 10k across their team, that if you're in an actual team fight, doesn't give you health, doesn't give you extra damage or anything, just positional and farming items. I mean, maybe that's why Gse7en...
Oh, check out bottom lane though. We have a smoke. It will be revealed onto KYX, but he's just getting DPS like crazy. And can they actually take him down? Yes, they get him. Ancient Apparition does a lot of damage as well. Will they get a Shadow on Darkseer? No, he should be A-okay, but... Oh no, actually the Shadow does get him. The final tick was enough to take him down. And X will be spotted by the Shadow Shaman, but in comes MWP. Has to be really careful due to Leo being here, and they have a Shackle on the Venomancer. Will he be able to survive? Ohio comes in, just barely saves him in the nick of time. Leo forced the TP away, but will be lifted up by the Rubik. Is it enough to actually finish him off? It could be a counter kill. Ohio blinks back in, and they take down the Razor. That turns out being a 4-for-2 engagement, despite it looking very well for Gse7en at the start. And just like that, Titan... It looks like they're back to that advantage. It's 23-19 at the 22-minute mark. Their gold has moved up past 7,500. Experience, though, pretty, not too high, only around 2k.
Yeah, at least, I mean, Titan, they are losing some heroes, but they're getting more in return. Of course, KYX by dying does delay his Radiance, which still seems to be the item he wants to go for. Up to 3.1k gold, so Sacred Relic 700 away only. But Gse7en, they're trying so damn hard, yet unable to make it just perfect. And a lot of these teamfights have been turned around just by that one hero net on the Ancient Apparition, getting beautiful Ice Blasts throughout the game.
Yeah, that hero. And later on when Spectre, I assume she's going for that Radiance, saving up 3,400 gold. Once you get that item online with the Ice Blast, you basically, if you hit someone, you can haunt on them. Hit them a few times, maybe even use the illusions, and you can take down some of the squishier players on Gse7en, like the Shadow Shaman or the Sand King. Even players like the Darkseer and Mirana have to be somewhat careful about what could be coming their way. At least Mirana's picked up this Black King bar to help out with survivability, but Apparitional, going to the top lane, will do a little bit of damage to the Mirana, and clears out that creep wave.
Yeah, and actually the chat is now talking about it as well as, oh, Razor, can you go Ohio? Nope. Ohio of course has DP, Razor, no stuns, and what do you actually think of him going for the SNY here in this game?
On the Razor?
Yes.
It's not an item that I see too often on him. I still definitely am a fan of the Agnum Scepter and Refresher Orb, maybe even getting a Black King bar, especially considering how much magical damage can come out from Titan. In the later stages, the physical damage, though, will be pretty significant from the Spectre, as well as the Nature's Prophet, but I guess they shouldn't forget that Radiance burn damage is magical, so I would have been a little bit happier after the mech with like a Black King bar into an Agnum Scepter, or even vice versa. The SNY still provides a good amount of survivability and a little bit of extra damage overall. I'm not a huge fan of the item in this situation. Maybe if there was less spellcasters on Titan, I'd be okay with it, but it still feels a little bit weird.
Yeah, I agree that the BKB is something that he should definitely have considered here. Especially now that Aghanim Scepter is there, but Ohio might be in trouble. He gets stunned, no mana for the TP out. Hex is there from Kala. Should be an easy kill. Shackles to follow, Sandstorm for the additional damage. So they get the Rat King down, but Moonlight Shadows.
Oh, Rubik blinks away just in time. He will see the Mirana, and let's see, what does he steal? He gets the steal, the Moonlight Shadow, and actually uses it. Gse7en, they can't find X. In comes NWP, is going to go ahead, use that ultimate, forcing this Mirana the BKB, and just simply get out of there. Unfortunately for the Darkseer, he is not as lucky, and ends up dying to the Apparition combo with this, just all of the damage over time coming out from the Poison Nova.
Yeah, their magic damage is just so damn strong. Mirana, at least he went for BKB, so of course doesn't do too much damage now, which is one of the downsides. We really haven't seen too much coming out of the Darkseer as well. He does have a 4-staff, so could get in position a little bit better for the vacuum, but Titan, they really haven't been grouping up. They're just using their blink daggers one by one, jumping in, backing off. Just blink, spell, back off, spell comes on cooldown, do the same again, rinse and repeat. So Titan, they're just playing it smart, really.
Well, they are playing it smart, but still, they've definitely kind of slowed down, I feel. Still, that being said, they have a Spectre on their team. They have an insane amount of late game in their department, so I'm sure they're not too concerned about bringing this game into the later stages of the match. The Radiance finally picked up by Spectre 26 minutes into the match, but that's after a Vanguard, after the Phase Boots, Magic Wand, and the Midas. So I guess not the worst timing in the world overall. She's 2, 2, and 8. And I actually really do like Vanguard on Spectre. I feel like she's actually not too tanky in the earlier stages, and getting that item really helps her out, and still is, you know, pretty darn solid in the later stages, just due to that ultimate that she has. But looking at Venomancer, he's trying to teleport away, and he'll get away just in time before anyone can really come in and find him. This looks to be like a wasted smoke in the top lane, actually.
Yeah, it's really nicely blinked into the trees by Yamate just in time there. Almost got Pinter, but since probably his teammates were as well like, guys, we're pushing out mid lane and bottom lane, but we don't see anybody here, so they must be in their own jungle, maybe gunning for the top lane, and that was exactly what happened as well. And Titan now, they're getting closer to a couple of BKBs. Yamate 400 gold away, Ohio actually has now his finished. And all of them just had their big items. Radiance is their own Spectre. He's level 15 as well, so both the Desolate and Dispersion is maxed out. And Extinct with the Invis rune, can he set up a kill?
That's what I'm looking for. Will they actually get it? Throughout the Apparition ult, doesn't actually hit anybody. They also use the Nature's Prophet ultimate, and yeah, nothing happens. So they wanted to make a play in the mid lane, but not enough of the puzzle pieces fit together in order to make something happen. It looks like Ohio will just continue to start doing some split pushing. There's that Black King bar finished up for him. And in addition to that, he does have the Blink Dagger, so this Nature's Prophet quite elusive overall when he's doing the split pushing. So I like what's going on here. As far as that concerned, a lot of Gse7en have rotated towards the bottom lane. I also want to point out, look at the wards from Titan. They will know. They 100% will know if Gse7en wants to move into the Roshan pit, barring you know, a smoke into the Roshan pit. They'll know if it's coming.
They have 6 sentry wards down at the moment on the map. I mean, it's almost a gem already. Might invest into that soon enough, but Gse7en, they want to make something happen.
Yeah, let's see, they're going to move into the top lane, putting down the wards. Apparition ult comes out and actually ends up connecting on good amount of heroes. They get the Rubik, they get the Venomancer as well, following it up though, but Leo low on health. Ohio simply man-moding him. The mech is used, it's not enough though. They end up trading lives back and forth. It's a 4-for-3 trade. Titan getting the bigger end of the stick, and that entire fight, I think KYXY, he simply just used his haunt, and that was about it.
Yeah, he didn't really join the fight at all, but Haunt of course helps out. The Radiance damage is there, the Desolate as well, but pushing out the bottom lane. I do believe though that Gse7en, I guess they couldn't have hoped for too much of a better fight considering that they are at a gold deficit. Although Titan, they actually don't have a mech or anything to just burst heal them up in the fight. There's only one BKB as well, no pipe coming out from anybody. Oh, Ice Blast.
Morana. Can they get a dagger? Nope. KYX was already pretty darn far away at this point. What do you think Spectre's next big item pickup is going to be? Are we looking into seeing like a diffusal blade from her?
I wouldn't mind a diffusal blade at all. It's always nice. You can just purge the Darkshare or anybody who gets surged up at the time. Just get the surge off, slow him down, go for an easy kill. As Yamate now finishes up his own BKB as well. But I wouldn't mind even like a Heart of the Rest, just completely tank it up. Make sure that the Sand King Epicenter initiation with a vacuum doesn't actually kill you off.
Yeah, that's another thing that could definitely help them out. I guess like Gse7en will probably get all their important spells off as the fight starts or begins to start, so maybe the Diffusal Blade won't be as useful as a Heart when it comes to these team fights. So there's a final tier 2 tower up for Gse7en in the top lane. Ohio's already pushing it in along with Yamate. Everybody's coming in from Gse7en. They do have the Moonlight Shadow as well. So we could see, okay, Sand King blinks in, gets a nice initiation on Ohio. BKB enabled by multiple amounts of heroes. They're all over the place. And I'm sure this time around we should see the Spectre come in. Yep, she will relocate. It's overall not bad for Gse7en from the start. They do get Nature's Prophet and the Rubik, but it's still a turnaround. They lose the Morana after the Sand King, as well as the Razor. Buyback as well from Nature's Prophet. They're going to get the tier 2 tower. Prophet, though, it's going to be a dieback from the look of things. He wanted to make some moves onto the Shadow Shaman, onto the Darkseer, but it simply wasn't enough. And this Darkseer is actually... he will not shatter from the look of things, but it's not looking amazing from him. Ancient Apparition has finished up the Scepter, by the way, and now KYXY, with the help of Net, they're looking to do a little bit of damage, and NWP as well, to this tier 3 in the top lane.
Yeah, to be honest, they could have gotten so much more Titan than this. They could have gotten the last 2 kills as well if the Ice Blast had just been a couple feet towards the left side. It went literally like 1 or 2 feet above both the Shadow Shaman and the Darkseer's head, so if the Ice Blast are connected, I think Shadow Shaman still might have made it out, but Kenji, he would have shattered for sure. But not to be in Titan. Man, Nature's Prophet buying or dying back like that, not the best thing they can do. They are still dominating, kind of. But with those team fights, Gse7en, they can definitely just hang on, especially their high ground defense is pretty good. Sand King and the Darkseer, you really never want to go into that. But look at the Razor, look at the item in his... Well, he goes for Mask of Madness. I don't know about that item, man, against just Ice Blasts, Venomancer ultimates.
Yeah, that's... I guess it's very unorthodox. He's also picked up a Maelstrom as well. That's another item that we don't see too often on Razor, but kind of makes sense with the Razor Lightning theme. That being said, that we have another big team fight coming out here. Razor will steal a little bit of damage from the Spectre. She goes to the high ground. They're going to turn it around now. Lil, he's stuck in place, will be frozen, and just gets DPS down. I don't know. I kind of wish he picked up a little bit more survivability at this point rather than DPS. Gse7en, I guess they feel like they're simply lacking in the DPS department, and that's what Razor's role is trying to fill in here, but it doesn't seem to really matter. There's 2 dead on Gse7en. The buyback's available for Mirana if they need it, but not for the Razor. He has 49 gold to his name. And we'll see Titan almost as a team of 3 anyway. They are starting to do a good amount of damage onto this tier 3 tower in the bottom lane. Buyback from the Mirana. She wants to make something happen. Do we have a wall yet? We do have a wall from Darkseer. Vacuum though, on cooldown for 25 seconds. Sheep onto KYX, so he's actually being brought down pretty darn low. He will be force-staffed out of there. Arrow connects though. That may actually be it for KYX, but he's just so damn tanky. And he ends up surviving while 3 more members of Gse7en end up falling for now. Excuse me, just 3. The Razor's still dead. And this is looking like it's the beginning of the end for Gse7en.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, no hero has buybacks for them. It's gonna be at least 1 set of hacks, probably 2. Mid lane is also pushing in perfectly. And man, that Spectre just not dying. Vanguard keeping him alive, of course, and just his innate tankiness, dispersing a lot of the damage returned. And once again, I think Ice Blast connected on like 3 heroes from net. So Ancient Apparition play is just great all around the game.
Yeah, just overall, once again, it just felt like Titan were simply outplaying Gse7en. There was that one rampage that Leo had that was damn sick, and he may actually end up getting a kill here onto net. Ohio tries helping him out. 4 step away, the Apparition will survive. Can they actually take out Leo? It's going to be 3v1 now. And Yamate throwing out a lot of DPS. Razor teleports away. In comes the Shadow Shaman, gets a sheep onto Yamate, but he has to get out of there now, and is actually stuck due to the wards as well as the tree end, so down goes the Shadow Shaman. The tier 3
Leo's gonna go down in base! Find him!
Wow. Wicked sick play from that. Quite literally. He is 10-3-16 at this point. Even Leo kind of just saying his unhappiness in chat. That's got the sting. We'll see the tier 3 tower in the mid lane go under attack. Some wards coming up from Yamate. Ohio joining the fight as well as Trance. Will be available in a few seconds. But this does look to be the, I suppose, finishing touches as Titan grabs their victory over Gse7en. We'll have the Sand King. He's going to blink in, go for the Epicenter ultimate, trying to do as much damage as possible. But the BKBs just come out from all sides of net. Under 100 health, he force stabs the hell out of there. They still end up getting kills on Gse7en, with everybody almost dying, or most people almost dying on Titan, but just not quite. They actually do get the Apparition, though.
I think it was the Spectre's illusion, actually, from the wall, getting the kill there. But, yeah, it makes a little difference. Or, I see Shadow Shaman from the back, gets another kill. Ohio is down. Oh, he needs to go for more. Yamate's ultimate is there, but KYXY with the Desolate, with the Radiance, just... This Shadow Shaman cutting like through butter.
Well, G7, they put up, I feel, a better fight this time around. The score is 43-29, 35 minutes into the game. Holy crap, the kills per minute this game was out of control. It's like over 2 kills per minute, basically. It's pretty damn insane. Leo, he's back. He comes in with his Mask of Madness and Ultimate. Wants to try to take down Titan. He 4 steps away. The Blink Dagger. 2 seconds left. It looks like he'll just narrowly be able to escape. And he doesn't even use the TP scroll yet. Yeah. But still, I mean, it's basically over at this point now, I feel. I don't feel, Coucher, like there's anything that G7 can do to come back.
Yeah, there probably isn't, and just look at KYX, but Extinct, he will go down at least. I guess Mask of Madness does help to chase down. He's almost hasted when it's activated, actually. But just look at KYXY Spectre. He has a Refresher Orb of all items.
Refresher Orb? Okay, I guess double haunts. Also, another interesting item, the Venomancer has picked up a Heart of Tarask. That is not an item you'll see on Venomancer every day, but he actually has 3,200 health to his name. That is one damn tanky Venomancer.
Yeah, there's just the timing to base. Linger is gonna go down as well. One more right click from Ohio. Does get the kill. Kalai shackles onto Ohio.
Oh, the courier, can they get it? Ohio, one more last hit. Go for it. No. He decides he wants to try the teleport out, or at least buy some half the trees, turns it around, uses the BKB, will get a kill, and now everybody is dead. An ultra kill from KYXY. Finally, G7, they throw in the towel. It's a GG. Rampage turnaround from KYXY. You said it's 1 in 100 games that they get it. Well, we got 2 in 1 this time around. Well played by Titan. They take the series 2-0.
The sickest thing is that both teams got 1 Rampage. That's like, the odds are not in their favor, definitely not so. But man, just happy to have seen and witnessed such a game overall. So guys, just you have to remember that it's not even it for the day. Titan, they have 2 more games coming up, as in 1 2-game series. It's gonna be up against MSI Evolution, Trick also. So it should be another great game. And Titan, Malaysians versus the Filipinos. And well, it's gonna be about not 28, 18 minutes away actually, or never mind, I think it's 48 minutes even, unless they prepone it. But guys,
okay, well,
yeah.
I just wanted to say I'm popping out after this game. Hefla will be taking my place along with Couchshore, so that's it for me casting for tonight. Yeah, I suppose if you enjoyed my casting or want to give me some criticism, I'm always open to feedback and how to improve my casting. You can send me a message on Twitter at YeahWhiplash, or you can even send me a message on Facebook, Whiplash Esports, and also social media plugins. Where can they find you, Couchshore?
Just at Couchshore on Twitter, Couchshore on Facebook as well. If you want to, you can find me there. But mostly follow HeflaTV on HeflaTV, Facebook, Twitter, even VK for the Russian viewers, and of course check out our Twitch channels. Not only HeflaTV1, which you are watching now, also HeflaTV2 and HeflaMonk, the English channels for us. And if you want to get some cool emotes to just spam in the chat, 322, the most important of them all, of course, throws happening every day. You can subscribe to us as well, just support us directly, get something in return. But guys, we're heading out from this game, and next game should be starting in about 45 minutes, unless they started earlier. Titan versus MSI. We'll see you there.